Evening, everybody. This is IFBB Pro Dr. Mark the Shark Smith, having a cigar in my tranquil backyard. I'm going to discuss a topic with you today that was asked of me on balancing bodybuilding and a career. So to start it off right off the bat, it's a time management situation, organizational management that goes into that, which I love talking about in all my lectures, but it definitely is conducive to your normal life as well. So it comes down to, in my personal opinion, it comes down to just priorities and what is important to you and trying to figure out exactly what makes sense to what you want to do. If fitness, bodybuilding, working out, staying in good shape is something that's really important to you, then you're going to have to kind of sit down and make the time period and organize and set up how it's going to do it. You're going to have this compulsion that I want to do this, I'm going to do this every day, and you just do it. And career-wise, you just focus on your career when you have to, and you understand the career progression and growth that you're trying to achieve, and you just go and do it. It's kind of an easy thing to think about. It's just that you want something, you do it. It's it's just kind of that simplicity that goes into it, and making the time and setting up things that make it easier for you to do that. In the bodybuilding community and fitness community, all of us understand food preparation and food prep. It's a big part of what we do. Typically, most of us will take a day or some days throughout the week, and we will parcel out time to actually cook, prep, weigh out everything, and have it all prepared. So that way it takes the scrambling around or the guesswork or missing or forgetting things out of our nutrition side of it. And same thing goes to workout times. You try to plan for a time that makes sense, that balances with your family life and your career, that you can do on a consistent basis so you can constantly go. This could be early in the morning, which I personally hated, or it could be super late at night, which I've had to do many times in my life, going to the gym at like 11, 12, 1 o'clock in the morning. I never gave a shit. I would just do it because I had to. It also made me feel better because I don't feel right if I'm not training every day. But and eating goes with that hand in hand. It comes down to priorities. It comes down to making that kind of selfish choices of what you want to have in your life that are important. It's not a selfish thing to do this. You just have to have kind of a selfish nature, understanding and discipline that these are things that you want in your life and you want to succeed in these specific areas, and you're going to have to invest time and effort into them. It's that simple. And so you do that. Are there going to be sacrifices? Yeah, you'll probably have to give up sleep, which I did for a very long time, or some other things in your life, having social hour, going out for happy hour, going out for drinks with your friends, stuff like that happens. And I know you're going to ask me, like, what happened with family events, things like that. Like, please go to these things. If you're invited to a wedding, go to a wedding, because it's rude not to go. If you're worried about the eating structure, like the food that they're going to have, and you don't want to throw caution to the wind, bring some food prep with you. Like, have some containers. That's a running joke in our community that we always have them at all point in time. We always have food prepared. We're always ready to prepare and pack. We all have our coolers and all that stuff to go with it. It's a lifestyle that we choose to do, and we're setting that up, and we're making sure that we can always do that. So whether you travel, you have family events, things of that nature, you just plan in advance and you come prepared. Like when I had to go to Orlando, I had to bring food for like 3 or 4 days. So I packed it all in my carry-on. I had a bunch of frozen rice and chicken ready to go because that's what I was going to be eating for the next 2.5, 3 days. And so you prepare and you go, and you just do that portion of it. The balancing the two, it's very seamless to do. What it starts to get kind of murky and tricky is when normal life things start to take into context. Your car breaks down. You have your kids have things that come up. You have family events. You have friend things that you want to do, and like you want to maintain certain relationships. Then you start to kind of work in those time periods to showcase what you need to do, and you don't sacrifice things that are important to you. Like I said, you sacrifice things that are not conducive to getting to you where you want to, or will have like bad reactions to you not doing it. Don't miss work events because you want to focus on your bodybuilding stuff, because those work events might be super important and you might have to make sure that you're there at them. The same thing goes with like your family life. Don't miss your kid's recital because you want to go to the gym, or you want to go to a work thing. You have to make it all work and balance out, and it just kind of works that way. If you have a support system, that's great. I personally have never had one of those in my entire life, whether I was in a relationship or not. I've never had somebody that would prepare my food for me or would like help me with literally anything. So, I did everything myself, which I will give you the advice that you should always rely on yourself first. And then if you have people along the way that will help you out throughout the day or throughout your time period, that's fantastic. But it all comes down to you making decisions to do what you need to do. If you're going to rely on your significant other to pretty much kind of like prop you up and do everything for you, it's going to crash and burn badly. And it doesn't mean, it also means that it's not something you personally want to do. It's just something that you're doing because you think you want to do it. If you really wanted to accomplish things in the fitness or career-wise, you would do those on your own. And you would need limited support or help along the way because you want to do those things. But that's just my 2 cents about it. Long story short, it comes down to just being resilient, setting up the time periods for it, understanding where you can make things work and the time commitments that go into it, and just doing it. So that's all I got to say about that. I never let anything get in my way when I need to do things. There'd be a lot of time commitments that would suck the day out from underneath me, but it didn't stop me from making sure I had my food sources ready to go or being able to go train at some point in time. I always made it work. Was it always like optimal for me? No, but I made sure I got it done because I had to. So you do it too. You balance it. Because if you don't, like, one of them is going to falter. And if you're not trying to balance a bunch of things, then you're just kind of like aimlessly wandering through life or trying to figure things out, which, God, that's got to be torturous when I think about it. But yeah, if it's a priority, you make it a priority. If you want it in life, you can get it. Like, I've accomplished a bunch of things because I sat down and I did them. Did I procrastinate on some? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I did, but I still got everything done that I was supposed to, and I've set new goals for myself, and I'm going after those now. And I have a very good balancing act of being a single dad, of being a professional bodybuilder, being a fitness consultant and trainer for Pharaohs or for Diesel Muscle, and for, of course, my main career and threshold is being a professor at a program chair. That is what I want to do for the rest of my life, and that's what gives me probably the most enjoyment on anything I do, period, is that work. I balance them and I make them all work because I want to do them all. And that's about all I can tell you, is that balance it, pick the things that you want to do that make sense to you, and do them, and then go from there. But the disclaimer I'll give you is that don't rely on others to prop you up or do it for you, because if you aren't willing to do these things yourself or give you the right guidance or preparedness for you to be successful in everything that you choose to do, you have no business trying to do it in the first place, because it's not what you really want to do. So that's me having a cigar, giving you a piece of my mind on balancing. Have a good one.